is a vast, sacred classroom. Every joy, challenge, and detour carries a lesson meant not to punish, but to prepare you. Here, the textbooks are your experiences, the tests are your challenges, and the graduation is not an accolade, but the realization of your truest self. Most wander through this school without recognizing they are students. They see random events, good luck or bad breaks, not understanding that each moment has been arranged to teach something vital. The deeper truth is this: your soul enrolled here to remember what it already knows. This journey is not about becoming something new. It is about uncovering what has always been within you. Before any advanced teaching can be grasped, the first initiation in life's spiritual school is awareness, learning to see. Most people wake each day as if life is fixed, a rigid structure dictated by circumstance. They move on autopilot, repeating the same thoughts, carrying the same emotional tones, and then wondering why their reality doesn't change. They look outward for causes and cures, rarely pausing to observe the inner climate from which their entire world is shaped. The ancients knew this truth well. Your outer life is a mirror of your inner state. Every thought, feeling, and unspoken belief is like a seed planted in the invisible field of reality. Left unnoticed, these seeds grow into the patterns you call life. This is not just philosophy, it is a universal law. The first true lesson, then, is to become the observer, noticing the subtle link between mood and moment, between inner tension and outer conflict, between inner peace and sudden ease. This noticing is revolutionary because it places the chalk of creation back into your hands. You stop being a character in a story you don't remember writing and begin editing the script in real time. Awareness does not demand you fight your thoughts or control every feeling. Instead, it invites you to see them without becoming them. In that space of observation, you gain freedom. You can choose a higher thought. You can interrupt an old emotional loop. You can create rather than react. Like a lantern lit in a dark classroom, awareness illuminates the blackboard of your life. You begin to read the lessons life has been writing for you all along, and the learning accelerates. This is the foundation upon which all other spiritual lessons rest. Without it, every teaching remains theory. With it, every moment becomes a page in the sacred textbook of your becoming. Once awareness awakens, the next lesson in life's spiritual school is learning to guard the very force that fuels your existence, your energy. Many don't realize it until they're already depleted, but spiritual exhaustion is real. It isn't caused by late nights or busy schedules alone. It's what happens when your sacred life force is constantly leaking into spaces, people, and situations that do not nourish you. You can drink coffee, take vacations, or sleep in for days, yet still feel like a ghost walking through your own life, present in body but absent in essence. This depletion often begins subtly. You answer messages you don't have the bandwidth for, stay in conversations that drain you just to keep the peace, or agree to favors out of habit rather than genuine willingness. These small compromises accumulate. Over time, they form an invisible transaction, an unspoken exchange in which your attention, emotional labor, and time are treated like an open resource, always available for withdrawal. In this unguarded state, you begin to confuse being needed with being valued. You may have been conditioned to believe that love equals constant availability, that kindness requires self-sacrifice, and that the more you give, the more worthy you become. But in truth, worth is not earned through depletion. In the curriculum of the soul, worth is inherent. sustainable. The first act of guarding your energy is awareness, realizing where it leaks. The second is boundaries, understanding that no is not rejection, but self-preservation. In spiritual school, this is not selfishness, it's stewardship. Every choice to protect your peace fortifies the foundation of your power. When you learn to guard your energy, relationships shift. Some people will respect the change, others may resist it. But those who truly belong in your life will adapt because they are invested in you, not just in what you provide. Your energy is your sacred inheritance. Protect it, and you protect the clarity, creativity, and spiritual strength that life's higher lessons require. Without this shield, you will have nothing left to give when your greatest calling arrives. In life's spiritual school, some of the most important lessons arrive wrapped in difficulty. Pain, loss, and upheaval are often misread as punishments, but in truth, they are initiations, sacred tests designed to refine you, strip away illusions, and reveal the depth of who you truly are. When challenge enters, it rarely feels purposeful. It disrupts without warning, dismantling what you thought was secure. Faith wavers, the future blurs, and you may find yourself asking, why me? Why now? Yet beneath the chaos, there is precision. The universe does not waste hardship. It uses it as a sculptor uses a chisel to carve away what no longer belongs. In this classroom, comfort is rarely the teacher. Growth demands friction. Seeds sprout in the dark, unseen, and caterpillars dissolve in the silence of their cocoons before emerging as butterflies. Likewise, the becoming of your highest self often resembles the breaking of your current self. Old identities, outdated beliefs, and unexamined habits must fall away so something truer can take root. To the untrained eye, this process looks like destruction. To the awakened student, it is refinement. Every heartbreak composts into wisdom. Every delay matures into deeper patience. Every loss clears space for what is meant to arrive. The question is not, how do I escape this? But what is this shaping me into? In ancient traditions, initiates were deliberately placed into trials, desert fasts, long silences, periods of isolation, to strip away distraction and test the strength of the soul. Life does the same without ceremony. You may find yourself in the wilderness of uncertainty, but that wilderness is a sacred forge. It burns away the dross so that the gold within you can shine without distortion. The refinement of the soul is not a single event. It's an ongoing cycle. Each time you are broken open, you expand. Each time something leaves your life, you are invited to anchor more deeply into the eternal rather than the temporary. Over time, you begin to see challenges not as enemies, but as tutors, relentless, yes, but always intentional. The lesson here is endurance without bitterness, transformation without losing your core light. In passing this test, you emerge not simply older or wiser, but more you than you have ever been. Once you've learned awareness, guarded your energy, and endured refinement, the next great lesson in life's spiritual school is creation through expression. Understanding that your words are not merely sounds, but forces that shape reality. Most people speak without realizing they are casting spells. Every phrase, every declaration is a seed dropped into the fertile field of the universe. Words carry vibration, and vibration carries instruction to your own subconscious, to the people around you, and to the energetic fabric of existence itself. Ancient traditions knew this well. In creation myths across cultures, sound comes before form. Let there be light. The Logos, the divine word, is not symbolic poetry, but a statement of law, that reality responds to the frequencies we project. To speak is to code your environment. To speak carelessly is to let chaos program it for you. The universe does not respond to language as such. It responds to frequency. You can say, "I am abundant," but if beneath the words you carry fear, doubt, or lack, the signal is scrambled. The result is static, a life that reflects mixed messages. When thought, word, and feeling harmonize, however, your speech becomes an instrument of creation. Think of your voice as a tuning fork. When you speak with conviction and emotional charge, you cause the world around you to resonate in alignment with that tone. Confidence quickens the tempo, clarity sharpens the note, and emotion amplifies the volume. The more consistent your vibration, the more powerful the effect. This is why spiritual training often includes not only silent meditation, but also spoken affirmations, mantras, or prayers. It is not about empty repetition. It is about aligning inner reality with outer declaration until the two are indistinguishable. Your words cease to be wishes and become proclamations. You no longer speak to see if the universe will respond. You speak knowing it must. In this classroom of life, careless speech is like dropping ink into clear water. The stain spreads invisibly but inevitably. Conscious speech, on the other hand, is like pouring light into that same water, changing its clarity, its tone, its capacity to reflect. The lesson is discipline of the tongue, not through fear, but through reverence for its power. When you master this, you begin to live not as a passive recipient of circumstance, but as a conscious composer of your experience. One word, one frequency, one declaration at a time. The final lesson in life's spiritual school is not about gaining more knowledge, but about embodying what you've learned. Awareness, boundaries, endurance, and the creative use of your voice mean little unless they are woven into the fabric of your daily life. Integration is where the teachings leave the pages and take root in your being. It's not about becoming perfect or unshakable. It's about living in such a way that your actions, choices, and presence reflect the truth you've uncovered. This is the graduation moment, not a ceremony, but a quiet alignment between who you are on the inside and who the world meets on the outside. To live as your true self is to release the need to constantly adapt to the expectations of others. The masks fall away. You no longer play small to keep the peace or inflate yourself to earn approval. Instead, your life becomes an unforced expression of your inner reality. In this state, you are no longer easily swayed by noise, criticism, or even praise. Your compass is internal, guided by clarity and integrity. Integration is also deeply practical. It means making decisions that protect your energy without guilt, speaking with purpose without over-explaining, and trusting that challenges are refining you instead of resenting them. You act not from old wounds, but from conscious choice. The ancients saw this stage as the embodiment of the soul's wisdom. It is the point where learning and being merge, where your presence itself becomes the teaching. You don't have to convince others of what you know. They feel it when they encounter you. Your life becomes a living scripture, a mirror in which others catch glimpses of their own potential. And here lies the most humbling truth. Graduation is not the end. It is a new beginning. Life will keep offering lessons, not because you failed, but because growth has no ceiling. Yet now, you move through them differently. You are no longer a reluctant student pulled into class. You are a willing apprentice to the mystery, eager for the next chapter of the curriculum your soul has chosen. Integration is the art of walking through the world as a whole being, aware, guarded, refined, creative, and free. And in living this way, you not only realize your true self, you help awaken it in others. Life was never a maze to escape. It was a monastery without walls. Each corridor you walked, awareness, sacred boundaries, refinement through challenge, creation through the word, and full-bodied integration, was not a detour, but the syllabus of your becoming. You learned to watch your inner weather before you set sail, to guard the fire that fuels your days, to accept the forge when it arrives as storm, to speak reality with a steady heart, and to let your actions match your knowing. Graduation here isn't a trumpet blast. It's the soft click of alignment, your breath in rhythm with your choices, your presence unbothered by noise, your voice choosing truth over volume. From this place, you don't chase meaning, you emanate it. You don't perform miracles, you become the condition in which they appear. And the school goes on. Lessons will return in new shapes, not as punishments, but as invitations to deepen what you already carry. When uncertainty rises, return to the first class. Be still, observe, and choose from the center. When the world tugs at your edges, remember the golden perimeter of your energy. When the path narrows, trust the pruning. When you speak, let your words be clean light. When you act, let your life be the sermon. You are not merely passing through this world. You are the curriculum and the cathedral, the student, the teacher, and the living text.